Mahama and the NDC is behind the protest we've been having lately. Or at least that's what people, including Cheddar, have been saying.
All of these protests and demonstrations that has happened in this country in the past year or two were organized by one of the duopoly. It's the same politicians.
Could this be true? Could the Stop Galamsey Now protest be politically motivated? Is Cheddar right about what he is saying? Well, grab a bowl and 2 packs of Kivu Gari and let's get into it. 2 things can be true at the same time. Number 1, this government has done unpopular things. President Nana Addo will go out as the president that reigned throughout some of the most difficult times in modern Ghanaian history. This is the man that spent $58 million on a hole in Accra, whilst the nation fell on bad times. And throughout his presidency, he has overseen bad decision after bad decision and actions and inactions which has cost the nation. And one of those inactions is the fight on Galamsey, or illegal mining. Galamsey, though it didn't start in his time as president, has gotten significantly worse during his tenure, and investigations show that people within his own government and on both sides of the political aisle are heavily involved in Galamsey. People who are still walking free today. Exhibit A.
It is a movement stronger than apartheid.
Which brings me to my next point. Number 2, protest can be politically motivated. It's an election year. A lot is at stake for both parties involved. The NPP doesn't want to lose the power they have maintained for 8 years, and the NDC won't stand around for the NPP to break the 8. Things have become very tense. So if there's a growing movement that makes the NPP look unpopular and incompetent, well, the NDC might as well just join it. This has happened in Ghanaian history before. Kume Preko in 95 was led by yours truly, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The protest against former President Kufuor and his government in 2007 was led by the late Professor John Evans Atta Mills. The Stop Doomsor demonstrations in 2015 and 16 were led and backed by notable NPP bigwigs. And there are so many other instances outside of this country. This is actually a common practice in politics. So people like Ralph St. Williams, Oliver Barker, and even online activists like Kali J could be tools of the NDC. But this doesn't delegitimize the purpose of the protest, because regardless of what the motivation might be, this cause is a good cause. Stopping Galamsey is an important cause that will determine the fate of the nation, whether or not the NDC is involved. This is where the hypocrisy of the NPP comes into play. When they protested against VAT and Doomsor, it was a good thing, but when it's their turn to sit in the hot seat, they purport this red herring to hide their incompetence and involvement. And this is where Cheddar's callousness and impetuousness is also displayed. If the leaders of the demonstration are paid actors of the NDC, how about every other Ghanaian? Everyone else online and on the grounds picking up for their country and their rights, are they paid actors too? And let's say they are, and during the process of protesting, they went too far. Do they deserve to be treated like livestock, to have their rights stripped away just for saying stop Galamsey? Imagine if the pressure from people in and out of this country forces the hand of the president to use his final days in office to implement a law that legalizes Galamsey for good and set things in motion to combat it. Won't it benefit Cheddar himself if he should win the 2024 elections? Or should we wait until he gets into power so that we can fix the problem, just like Bawumia and Mahama have been telling us they will do if they get into power? What Cheddar said at best was tone deaf, and as an overthinker myself, raises alarm bells about his character. Regardless of who is behind it, we need to stop Galamsey now at all costs.